On today's show, we say goodbye and good luck to one of Southfield's finest, Policeman Dave Schutz. Dave is retiring after many years of service, and we had a chance to catch up with him before he leaves.
Many residents are unaware of two museums in Southfield. We'll take a quick look at them. We'll have this and more on this edition of Safe and Secure.
First up, after 25 years of service, Sergeant Dave Schutz is retiring from the Southfield Police Department. During his career, he has served the city in a number of capacities.
Well, today is a celebration of the work career of Dave Schutz. He's a sergeant in our department. He started back in 1991, August of 1991. He worked a little bit over 25 years, and this is his last day on the department. So we're here for a retirement ceremony and celebrations for Dave Schutz.
Well, I retired today, Mike. 25 years, and it's kind of surreal. It's still kind of it's an amazing feeling. You can't believe it happened. It's amazing how time flies, just flies.
Yeah, Dave started again in 1991, and Dave and I started right around the same time, within a few months of each other. So our careers are kind of tracked, paralleled each other. He worked always in a different division than me, but we've kind of watched each other over the years. And just a great, great guy.
When I first started, early in my career, about 2 years on, I ended up being assigned to the Traffic Safety Bureau. We enforced the traffic laws and things of that nature. I did that for about 10 years. I also was fortunate enough to be part of the department SWAT team, our CERT unit, and I took a lot of pride in that, and I was a team leader with that unit for several years, and then ultimately being promoted to the rank of sergeant back in 2009, at which point I was able to come back to the training section that I had worked in for 3 years prior as an officer, and I was allowed to come back and oversee the training of the department, and we were able to do a lot of really interesting things that nobody else was doing at the time, and that was my niche. That's where I really enjoyed, and I think I flourished in that area. So,
Dave made his mark in our department, in our training division, and right now, what a lot of experts are saying is that police departments in America need to be better trained. We're seeing a lot of things that are going on across the country with use of force in police departments, and our experts are saying that you can minimize the risk of inappropriate uses of force by having a well-trained police department. Dave has been instrumental in making us, the Southfield Police Department, one of the best trained police departments in the entire country.
Chief Thomas was here when I first started. He came in early '91. I started in the fall of '91, in August, and he was our chief for 20 years, and then Chief Hawkins took over, and I've been very fortunate because both the men that I worked for as chief of police were excellent men. Chief Hawkins especially, he and I, we have a real special bond. We came on the same year. We're friends, but it's been a great career. I've been lucky. I've been very blessed to be here, and I couldn't think of a better place to work. Really, this has been a great department to work for.
Dave has been a valuable member of the Southfield Police Department and leaves with many memories of a job well done.
Back in 2012, I was coming back from lunch with Deputy Chief Tinsman, who's now retired as well, and happened to witness a carjacking that was in progress, and at the corner 10 and Telegraph at a gas station, and which ultimately led to the apprehension of a armed carjacker. He was armed with a pistol and was attempted to take an elderly gentleman's vehicle at gunpoint at the gas station, and it's just one of those things, coming back from lunch, kind of minding our own business, and rolled by it, and just being at the right place at the right time. So I had another incident that stayed with me for many, many years. Early in my career, it was around 1995 or 96, I was able to help out a young 11-year-old kid that was having some difficulty. He wasn't breathing, and his mother had stopped on the side of the road and was kind of frantic. And again, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. It wasn't that I possessed any super abilities or anything. I just being at the right place at the right time, and I was fortunate enough to be able to help him out and get an airway started, and the life unit responded, and he survived. So that's always kind of stayed with me. It's been it was kind of an emotional thing at the time, but the bottom line is that he survived, so that was cool. So
Dave's retirement is reflective of a trend with longtime officers leaving the force. Chief Hawkins thinks this could pose interesting challenges for the department.
Right now, we're running about 25 or 30% fewer officers than we had, 6 or 7 or 8 years ago. And a lot of it is because just the natural retirement cycles that we're having. And so we have officers who started, 25 or 30 years ago, and they're just now coming to the point where they can retire. So we've got just a huge number of officers over these next year or 2 or 3 years that will be retiring. So we're cycling those officers out, and we're trying to recycle in some newer officers. But recruitment is tough right now. There's tense times across the country. Police, law enforcement is taking kind of a hit a little bit from a perception standpoint, and so it's a little tough recruiting. But we are getting quality recruits in here. We're not compromising our standards. So when people like Dave leave and retire, we're replacing those people with quality people as well. Right now, we have a number of vacant openings for police officers, and so we're looking for entry-level police officers. So we're looking for people, number one, who have at least a high school diploma or a GED. They must be able to pass a police background. But more importantly, we're looking for individuals who have advanced interpersonal skills, communication skills. And so even if they can do all of the physical stuff, that may not necessarily qualify them to become a Southfield police officer. We need individuals who have the capacity to connect with people, to empathize, to communicate in a way where people feel comfortable, and to help people resolve their issues.
Dave leaves the Southfield Police Department knowing that he has a job at the Schoolcraft College Police Academy as a coordinator and a teacher. We wish him well and much success at his new job.
At the corner of Berg and Civic Center, you can find the city's historical museum and the Fire Museum, both full of memorabilia from Southfield's past. Every year, Mayor Ken Siver takes second graders over to the Berg to learn Southfield history.
The Michigan curriculum requires our public schools to teach local history in second grade. And so we do a very fundamental Southfield history. And the best place to do it is at the Southfield Historic Berg. So that's why the kids are out here today.
Mayor Siver feels it is very important for young people to embrace history.
Want to give them a sense of community and also to know what life was like years ago and to appreciate the things that we all enjoy today.
The mayor's tour included local parks and cemeteries, ending up back at the Berg with a visit to the Fire Museum, where retired firefighter paramedic coordinator Frank Coots and fire inspector Mike Albo gave students a tour.
Well, first of all, good morning. My name is Fireman Frank. I was a captain, firefighter, paramedic coordinator, emergency management director for the city of Southfield, but now I'm retired. I worked 40 years for the city of Southfield. And today you, Vandenberg, and I have a nice memory of Vandenberg, you're here at the first fire station in the city of Southfield. Real meaning of why we're here today is for you to see these things, to know that these things were here, but to learn about the history, the things that happened before, that how we got to the beautiful city we are today.
The students walked away knowing that the fire rescue service has changed over the years, from the early horse-drawn fire trucks and wooden ladders to today's new and improved equipment.
Did you notice that they made of metal or made of wood? Long time ago, the fire ladders were made out of wood. Maybe still make a few out of wood. Most of them are metal now.
If for any reason, God forbid, your clothes catch fire it's probably your fault. So there's something you did you shouldn't have done. Don't play with matches. Don't, I'm cooking on the stove and I reach over in the burner. I played with the lighter for the fireplace. I played with a gasoline or something that caught fire. Don't do those things. You avoid it. But, God forbid, your clothes catch fire. Think about it. This is on fire next to me. I'm going to get hurt. So I want to put it out as fast as possible. So there's jump in the pool, put a blanket on, take it off, throw it away, or stop, drop on the ground, and roll. And when you're rolling, you know, you're putting the fire out because it's pressing on the ground. Stop, drop, and roll. Can you help somebody who's on fire? Throw dirt on them. Put a blanket on them. Knock them down, roll them around. You can do it. You know, try not to hurt yourself.
To find out more about Southfield's history and museums, you can call Fire Headquarters at 248-796-5601.
With everything that has been going on in the United States and in the world, with criticisms and attacks on police officers, Southfield Citizens Police Advisory Council wanted to recognize the positive relationship between residents and the Southfield Police Department.
The Chief of Police has a Citizens Advisory Board, and they decided that they wanted to have an appreciation lunch for the members of the police department. That includes the officers and the civilian employees who work in the police department to thank us and recognize us for what we do for the community. They treated everybody to a luncheon, just a beautiful spread. Various businesses around the city contributed the food, the utensils, everything that we needed or that they needed to have this event today, and they invited everybody on the police department, including dispatchers, civilian employees, all of the officers to come and have lunch.
Rosemary Allen is a community activist involved with boards and commissions and her neighborhood associations, and feels strongly that the police should be acknowledged for their good work.
Back in 2013, that was the second year that the police academy had been formed by the chief. And so the information was sent out to the community if we wanted to join and wanted to be a participatory part of the criminal system as such. So the academy provides you the opportunity to actually shadow the police, to see what goes on behind the scenes, to see how arrests are made, to see how tickets are given when you're pulled over for traffic, to even see how the dogs go and do different tactics when they're going after the bad guys. It's a 12-week program, and if you do very well in it, then you graduate from the program. And after graduation, the chief continues to have an advisory board to that component. Well, you know, when we talk with the chief at our monthly meeting, he is very open and receptive to the comments that we have made as a board. He actually respects our thoughts and our ideas and our comments and our suggestions. And he'll say, "Oh, I like what you just said." And he'll say, "Write that down." He'll tell one of the officers to write that down. He said, "Let us investigate on how we can check into that and see if we can bring that to the city of Southfield."
On behalf of the officers and the civilians for our department, I'd like to thank the Civilian Advisory Board and particularly Rosemary Allen. She's the person who organized all this. It was her idea. She brought it to the Chief of Police and she arranged for everything today, and it's just been a wonderful event. So on behalf of everybody with our department, I'd like to say thank you to them for that.
So a big shout out to Chief Hawkins and to his executive team and to the entire staff and the men and women that actually get out and do the work to catch the bad guys and keep us safe. I am so grateful. I am just beyond words, and I just say thank you. And this is what we do, and this is how we do it in the city of Southfield.
Michigan-based team Showstack Family Restaurants, a family-owned restaurant group, and its Southfield Applebee partnered with Southfield Police Department to host a free, open to the public Pop with a Cop. an extension of the police department's Coffee with a Cop morning series. Pop with a Cop is a free event that aims to introduce community members to local law enforcement officers in a casual and fun setting. As part of the event, residents were able to talk with Police Chief Eric Hawkins and other law enforcement officials about issues in the community, in addition to offering free soda to those participants in the meet and greet event. Applebee's supplied free appetizers for up to 30 individuals.
Yep. So Team Showstack is a family-owned business. It's based in Livonia. We have over 100 restaurants. Tonight's feature is the Pop with a Cop. So what it really is time to spend time with a cop, talk with them about what's going on in the communities, any issues you have. So it really brings the community together. A great time to get to know the police officers, which is really good. I think it's beneficial. I think it brings positive light to the community and to the police officers that, you know, they're here to help and protect and serve, and not just really get on people's kind of case in some instances. So I think it's really good to put a name to a face and not just in a negative light.
We appreciate the hospitality of the management of Applebee's. With them partnering with us in order to make this a great community event, and I'm pleased with the turnout. And, a lot of people are concerned about what's going on across the country. There's some tense times right now between local law enforcement and members of certain communities, and so residents in Southfield are a little concerned about that, but they consistently tell me that it's not something that they're concerned about here, but they just want to make sure that we maintain an open line of communication and that we talk about issues in Southfield before they become problems. And we've been very, very successful at doing that. So I appreciate the residents here for partnering with us. I appreciate again the management of Applebee's for becoming, they're a part of this community, and they want to encourage the residents to work with the police department, and it's a great thing that they've done today. Everybody in it, whatever community a person lives in, they want a safe community, and they want a community where you have high quality of life. And so, and it's the same way here in Southfield. And so we have outreach into our neighborhoods because that's what they want. They want us to connect with them. So we have a neighborhood watch coordinator who works with all of our neighborhood associations. And that person is the liaison between the neighborhoods and the police department. So if there are issues in the communities, issues that neighbors are talking about, they have a point person that they can talk to, and they can make sure that information gets to the chief's office and to every other area of the police department. So we've got that. We've got programs like the program that we have here, where we're working with businesses in our community to enhance our quality of life.
The Pop with a Cop event was well attended, and a few familiar faces from the city's Police Advisory Council were on hand.
Yeah, a lot of the folks who are here are residents of all of them are residents of Southfield, but a lot of them are members of my Citizens Advisory Board. And so, we've got a real close-knit group of residents who support the police department. They partner with us on a lot of things. They meet with us on a regular basis, and they come to events like this. And so they're out to support us tonight.
I'm here because we are honored, we honor our police. We really appreciate our police. And any way that I can encourage them, I love to do it because each day they get up and actually put their life on line for us. We have one of the finest police departments in the country. Quick response time. They are there when you call. I learned that they were just regular people, caring people that we really appreciate. I've always said I will never allow anyone to define the city in which I live. I live here. The citizens should define our city. If something should happen, I would not blame the whole city government for some action that one officer may do. It could be a mistake, and I would not be in judgment of it. We learned about traffic stops, and actually there's no routine traffic stop. It's a very tense moment. I learned that everyone, when they are stopped, they should have their hands where they can be seen at all times. Never think that the police officer is just stopping you. There's a reason for it. I know some folk that were stopped by the police, and they were just stopping them to tell them, thank you for driving the speed limit. And so we should know to just, keep our mouths shut, respect the officers because they deserve our respect.
Chief Hawkins knows that the youth of our community are in a position to offer hope for the future and wants the community to know about special programs that are being offered.
We've got youth programs where we're working very closely with the young people in our community. We were one of the first police departments in the state of Michigan to have school resource officers assigned, full-time sworn police officers in the high schools. 20 years ago, I was a school resource officer at both Southfield Lathrop High School and Southfield High School. And we've had that for over 30 years. And so in all of the high schools in Southfield, we have a full-time police officer assigned to the high schools. And that officer is interacting with these teenage young men and women, building relationships, helping to keep some of these young folks out of trouble. We have a police cadet program, and that is our primary recruiting tool for police officers. And to qualify as a cadet, you must be at least 18 years of age and a high school graduate. And we bring you in and we allow you to learn about the police department. So you're maybe writing parking tickets, you're working in our records department, you're following along with detectives or patrol officers. And after we evaluate and assess the cadets and we determine that they're ready to become a police officer, then we send those individuals to the police academy and we hire them as police officers. And it's so beneficial for us because we get a chance to see these young men and women before they're police officers. They get a chance to experience the culture in the Southfield Police Department. And then it gives us an opportunity to determine if this person has what it takes to serve the Southfield community. So it's a great program for us. We send them to school, to college for free. That's another great thing. Because right now, we have a lot of parents who are reluctant to encourage their children to become police officers because they want to send their children to college. Well, you can send your child to become a police cadet in the city of Southfield, and we'll send your child to college for free. We pay for books, it's 100% covered, books, tuition, and while they're in school, it's considered a part of their workday. So we educate them, we expose them to the law enforcement culture, and allow them to make a decision on whether or not they want to continue with this line of work. We appreciate our Southfield community working with the Southfield Police Department in order to keep this community safe and secure, because we're working together. We've been doing this for decades, and so when issues occur, they don't become problems in the city of Southfield. We talk about things, we resolve them, and we continue to make our city safer and more secure.
Well, that's it for this edition of Safe and Secure. To find out more about the Southfield Police and Fire Departments, go to thecityofsouthfield.com and go to our respective pages.
You can also find out more by going to Facebook and YouTube and looking at our pages. Until next time, stay safe and secure.